see what happens. Jose, you want to tell me if we're actually streaming?
I'm checking.
We took a week off last week. There's a good chance none of this is going to work.
Yeah, we're streaming.
Oh, check that out. We're streaming.
Wow.
We've done this 246 times prior to tonight, and we're still not sure how it happens each night. and then usually when we take a week off, we can't figure it out. But we didn't this time. We didn't disconnect anything from the studio. Now that we have all the portable stuff, the studio stayed intact.
Yeah, smart move.
We were just at SEMA last week and just came back on Friday.
Busy time of the year.
It's dumb. And then I've got this week, and then next week, and then I'm on vacation the week of Thanksgiving, and then I got to travel the first week of December for work.
This whole part of the year is just insane.
Let's just not do it. Let's just not.
Yeah.
Let's just decide.
It's permanent vacation.
Everybody decide that starting now.
I just want to stop working. I want to stop working, and I just want to do fun things. I just had a conversation with Michael, with my son, before I came over, like, because he's just lazy, and he's a teenager now. It's like, dude, do you think I wanted to go back to work yesterday after a week off? No, but I did it. You got to do your homework, Hans. Whiny.
What's up, Real Rigs? What is up, Elam? How you guys doing? Hope everybody's good. All right, we got people rolling in. Any questions, Eric? Any questions, or have you done much of this before?
Oh, a few times.
Okay.
Yeah, just here and there.
Good.
I'm usually sitting behind the desk working with developers during the day, but this is my little side hustle at the, after work.
Okay.
It's great.
Cool. All right, you guys ready?
Still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait on you.
Wait on me. All right, I'm going to count down, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. It is Tuesday night. It is 6:30 on Tuesday night. We were actually on time tonight at 6:30 on YouTube, as we are usually on Tuesday nights. And tonight we are joined by Eric Evans from onX Off-Road Maps. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good. We were just having a conversation before we hit record about how absolutely miserably cold and horrible it is in Southern California right now. It's like 65 and raining, and I don't know. This is when Californians decide to move, because this is we have.
I'm tired of this.
This is horrible. It's been raining for
day.
2 days, and you said you're in Montana.
That's right. Yeah, I'm in Missoula, Montana, where it is currently 16 degrees and snowing. So.
I don't know that people are meant to live in 16 degrees. I think.
Are you a zombie, Eric?
Yes.
Sometimes. I mean,
Are
sometimes
you
I question myself. I question my sanity sometimes. It's sometimes it's fun. Sometimes you kind of realize you made a mistake, but it's okay.
Yeah. What's the centigrade scale like? When as you get to 0, that means you shouldn't be there. Like people shouldn't be living there. So Missoula, Montana. How long have you been in Missoula?
I've been here about 2 years. I'm originally from Texas, actually. Grew up there. Then went to school out in Mississippi and worked out there for a few years. And then onX gave me a ring, and I've been using their hunting app for a long time. And thought, what a cool place to join. Came over and started working in the off-road focused app side. And man, we've been building a really cool product for the last couple of years, and kind of excited to talk about it.
Hold on 1 second. I love Mark real quick.
Betty White mentioned it first.
But Mark was able to diagnose it right away over the chat. He knew exactly what was going on, and I've changed the audio. Is that better, guys? We had a on YouTube they couldn't hear us.
Sorry, Eric.
Yeah.
Like we said,
I do.
247 times, and we still can't figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. So So sometimes when my computer restarts, it will default to a different input on the microphones. So we have fixed that. And yes, I see that Betty White said it wasn't picking up Matt's. So Betty White says Matt's mic isn't picking up, and then I thought, okay, cool, this is going to be a really good episode. And
yeah,
then,
I was gonna say, I think you figured out how to mute me.
and then Mark had to go and diagnose it immediately, probably because Mark has heard enough of these episodes to where he knows that this happens.
Yeah.
And he went, "Hey, Cody, change the input from the camera to the actual mixing board," and now here we are.
I didn't hear any of that stuff from him, but
That's what happened. So onX gives you a ring 2 years ago. You go up there. You've been using their hunting stuff, and
It started off as a purely hunting app,
Yeah.
right?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, in fact, it even started out before an app. The onX Maps used to make maps that set on little SD cards that you plugged into GPS units.
Oh, really?
And we did that for a long time. And the app came along, the Hunt app came along about 10 years ago. And it's been, just an amazing product since, and just the most adopted hunting app in the US. It's just incredible how many folks we have using that and are just loyal to that. And that's how I got introduced to that. And that's how I got introduced to off-roading even, was hunting. So
Really
great way to get into it.
So
Yeah.
when was that? How long ago did you start exploring the back roads with your vehicle?
Yeah. I mean, I was a little late in life. I was probably, this was 2014. I was living in Mississippi, and my father-in-law was teaching me how to whitetail hunt. And as we were getting into these leases,
I did
you'd
a lot
find
of
yourself.
whitetail hunting in college. Did some brown tail
Yeah.
hunting as well, but was come on, that was a good one.
it was not like that,
That
was
was-
so easy. I'm like, please, Cody, don't, and you still did
That
it.
was a good one.
Oh,
I think he's talking about deer. I'm not sure.
yes.
Maybe.
No.
But, you got to find the whitetail. So sometimes you got to, get into the backcountry a little bit, find your way down some roads. And that's how it all got started. So started in the ATV, bought a really nice truck, and, really just started going a little crazy from there, and got into off-roading somehow out of that.
So-
Just a mistake.
So ATV like a quad?
Yeah, quads are super common,
Mhm.
especially down there in the South. Well, even up here too, but just the easiest way to get back and forth, especially when you're just running down back roads back and forth to your lease. So
Yeah, and I would think that where you guys were going hunting, based on my very limited knowledge of the area, that it's super tight, and the quad is how you get in and out because you can't get vehicles back there, right?
that's right. Yeah, so you're hunting a lot of leases, and those leases are owned by Weyerhaeuser or other companies that basically log off there. So you're in really tight pines, and sometimes you can get little lanes cut, but you don't have a lot of room. So
Okay.
that's how you get started.
So then, so you do the hunting, you go up to Missoula. Let's talk about that transition from Texas to Mississippi to Missoula. Like, what kind of transition period was that for you? Was it easy, or were you like, what would I do?
It was, I moved in the middle of winter even. So that was the best place to start. But living in the South my entire life, I mean, you sit through the humidity, you sit through the heat, and at some point you're like, yeah, the snow is kind of cool. So it still hasn't worn off yet. So, I mean, still kind of a cool novelty. And, sometimes it's a little freezing cold, like waking up this morning in the single digits was a eye opener, but it's been a great transition. Montana's an awesome place. Got tons of public land that you didn't really have in Texas and Mississippi. So trail opportunities, riding opportunities, overlanding, camping, whatever you want. I mean, it's just right out your back door. So
Yeah, I think that first winter be like, oh, this is super. F it, I'm done.
Yep.
Today's Tuesday. I'm out. I need to get out of here. Like I don't know that I would have made it past the first week. That's how weak I am. Like I was saying, it was 64 and rainy today. I was ready to throw in the towel.
Yeah, but even if you were to get like a kill, you'd be like, wait, now I have to cut it up. and stuff? You're
You're
like,
like,
no.
okay, is someone come and get it? Because I got bad Achilles. I'm not carrying that out. So then you get so I can see the personal side of things using the app for the hunting and then going on. But what's your background on the professional side that was like, why did they give you the call to come on and work for onX?
yeah, I've been doing product management and building apps for, I guess, about 9 years now, and kind of worked my way through all kinds of different stuff. I mean, I didn't really start in the off-road side. I started actually in the telecommunications side, building fiber optic internet products to people's homes in Mississippi. Then moved to Dallas, where I was originally born and from, and worked for the Dallas Morning News. Built a whole bunch of apps and really cool stuff there to kind of transform their business. Then went over to Shell and rebuilt their fuel rewards program. So they're 5 cents a gallon, save that, and then worked through a whole bunch of experience like that, and just naturally onX came calling. They had a growing app, and they wanted a good product manager to come in and make some changes and really listen to the customer and build the things that mattered. So I was totally on board. It was a really easy decision.
It's interesting, like you talk about being a product manager for a software application, right? And it's just a title. You're like, oh, a product manager, software application. My brother-in-law does that and has been doing it for several years at a company that started with like 3 employees, and now it's huge. And the amount of hours he puts in, the time and energy and effort and stress and constant, like, I think you're underselling what you do for a living, because I've seen it firsthand in my brother-in-law, and it is one of those, like, when they're ready to roll out another iteration or an update or something.
It's every update, dude.
It's like he hasn't slept in 4 days. It's like the total meme of the software engineer guy on
I'm
Red
not
Bull.
in software, dude.
Yeah, but you.
I'm your brother-in-law. What are you talking about?
I have other ones. I have better ones.
What?
Yeah, I have better ones.
Shit. Kudos to you.
But in all honesty, like that product management encompasses, depending on the company you work for and what application it is, that encompasses so much of the everything from engineering to marketing to sales to execution, all the way around. Is that an accurate description of what you're doing?
Totally accurate. It's you're a hub and a wheel, and you're connected to a bunch of spokes, and you're trying to communicate, you're trying to listen to people, you're trying to prioritize different things, and it's challenging. But I would also say, like, it's the hardest job in the world, but it's also the easiest job in the world. You listen to your customers, you go and empathize and listen to them, and you understand their problems, and you go and solve them. It's really not that hard to do that. I think if you're just naturally a good listener, you can be a good product manager, and as long as you can prioritize those things, just pull people's opinions in, sample a whole bunch of folks, and just make sure you're delivering the things that matter the most. And it's as easy as that. Maybe underselling it a bit.
Yeah,
that sounds the opposite of project manager, because you just berate people, and like just tell them to shut up and get it done.
Get it done. I don't.
You're
care.
out of hours.
It's due tomorrow. I don't care when your kid was born.
I don't care
if your kid has a birthday tomorrow. That's not my problem. The job doesn't stop. No, that's not at all. Okay, so you go through kind of like these two parts of your life where you're doing your professional career of product management and software space, and then like actual using some of these applications like onX, and then that comes together. When that happened, when that call came, were you like over the moon excited that you got to be the product manager for an app that you're actually using?
Yeah, there was that, but I'll tell you what was even weirder is I had never been to Montana, and I had agreed to move to Montana in that call as well. And so it was a pretty crazy moment. But yeah, I mean, the moment that happened,
were you being investigated for crimes in Texas or wherever you were at the time? I gotta get out of here.
I'm gonna tell you right now, there is a price on a phone call that I will agree to move someplace.
Everybody
has that price, because it's be like, we'd like you to come. It'll be about a 4% increase of what you're making now. That's not the price, but if the price is right, honey, we're moving to Montana. Like, that's
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's. I don't know if that was the price, but to me, that's what it would come down to. Is what's that price?
It was mountains. And that's about it. I was ready to go to the mountains. Like, that was just it. We had been trying to move to the mountains for a long time, and we were, over the, DFW Metroplex life of 3-hour commutes each way to work for 15 miles. That was just insane. And so we were just so over it. We were so ready to go. And COVID does weird things to you too, man. And we were just a few months into the COVID pandemic, and I was like, hey, this is the time to do it. And it was a great time to do it.
Honestly, you're starting to sell me on Montana.
Yeah.
Like that whole
come on over.
The 3-hour commute for 15 miles. Like, preach on, man.
Dude,
I'm over it.
Old.
2 hours to get to Long Beach this morning in the rain. I mean, to tell you, that's not great. But I
actually I got off easy.
I love the idea that you guys were like, we want to make a change, and then the call comes, and you're just like, we're gonna jump on it, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then kudos to you for having the to be brave, like to do that. A lot of people just be like, I can't move. I got, you just were like, I'm out of here.
Can I discuss my retirement plans with Eric? Like, just as scouting. So my retirement plan is I want to be the old man that works at the Ace Hardware or True Value, not Home Depot and not Lowe's. I don't want to work.
I thought you hated True Value.
Look, I'm willing to. It depends the negotiations, but do they have those like small mom and pop hardware stores? Because that's what I want to do. I want to work in the back of like I'll go talk to old Matt.
Look,
that crotchety old jerk. He's knowledgeable, but he's going to talk shit about you, and then he'll help you. That's my dream retirement job.
In Missoula, they've got Montana Ace, Eastgate, Merkel's, Great American Lumber, Boyce Lumber, Ace Hardware.
Ace.
Dude, there's plenty. Montana
There are
Bolt
so many
Company.
Aces. Literally from our office windows in Missoula, you can see 2 Aces on the same block.
Wow, that's a pair of Aces.
And I bet if you go to one Ace, they're like, "Fuck those guys over there. They don't know what they're talking about. They've never even framed out a wall."
That's too corporate. That's too corporate. Do you want to go to Merkel's?
Yeah,
Merkel's.
Yeah.
Merkel's sounds like it's probably a big thing,
There's probably like one.
Okay. All right.
So, anyways,
Eric, can you get back to me on the Merkel's thing and just
Totally.
see?
Plenty of opportunity here, Matt.
Okay. Thank you.
So you get to onX. You're doing the product management starting in 2020, which is, as we all know in the industry, was when everybody everybody decided to go outside all at once.
Right.
In the before times, did you, as you came on board, were you seeing that? Were you seeing that exponential ramp up of use on the app?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our first year at it was 2020, and what a year to introduce the app experience. That was the right time. I mean, we certainly saw that, and we still actually see remnants of that today. More people are active in the outdoors. More people are interested in doing this. More people are just like expanding their breadth of experience that they can go do now. And I mean, we absolutely see that across basically all of our apps. Hunters, more and more people are getting into hunting. It's pretty incredible, especially with good mentors and just programs like onX Hunt. And then backcountry skiing, hiking is obviously just very attainable to get into. And so that's a lot of people's first step is just buy a pair of hiking shoes and you're out. So we still see that. And I mean, heck, I remember first trips out to some of the most popular places out here. I mean, people had their RVs parked just on the sides of the main roads, couldn't even find campsites. And it was just so crammed out here with people just trying to get their side-by-sides, dirt bikes, whatever it was, out and just have fun with the family.
So you launch in 2020. Let's talk about the app itself. Like we talked a little bit before going on air that like I have 16 different ways of mapping things that like I try to link together, and it's all kind of combobulated. It works because it's what I've been able to figure out for me. Is it
combobulated or discombobulated?
It's
combobulated. Oh, good callback.
Good callback to cattywampus. Have you heard the term cattywampus?
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
okay.
right?
I think it's a Midwestern
I
thing.
said cattywampus to someone at SEMA the other day, and I got a 15-minute discussion about how
people were like,
it's not a real word. They've never heard that before.
Googling the meaning.
Jose's over there having to Google cattywampus to show her it's in the dictionary.
It means fucked up.
Pretty much, yeah.
But
Foobar.
So what is onX Off-Road broad overview?
Yeah, so onX Off-Road is simply the easiest place to get off-road trails maps. So we're a mapping company. That's what we focus on. We've got hundreds of thousands of miles of trails shown across the entire United States. We're also a land company. We provide information about the land all the way across the United States, whether that's public land, it's a national park, it's national forest, Bureau of Land Management, whatever it might be. We can give you all the information that's ever been out there about the place. And then we dive into just tap on the map. So you open our product and you just got an entire map full of information ready for you. And you just tap on that thing and you can get information about whatever the heck you're tapping on. So that might be a trail, rec point, whatever it might be. It's just tons of information out there, more than anything else you can find in any other product. Pretty comprehensive.
That sounds pretty impressive. But do your trails and your trail maps, do they include U-turns?
Well, I think the point is
because I'll tell you right now, you need a comprehensive map of Southern California trails, even some Arizona. and you want some U-turns, we got those.
Look,
we can make some U-turns happen.
I have plenty documented U-turns. I have enough documented U-turns to keep them busy. I think the point is, if you're using
Keep your head spinning.
if you're using
What's
onX,
happening?
the documented U-turns go away. Literally, no, I'm not joking here. Like before
This
we go,
is the true test. Like we really have to put you on task to see if this helps you. I don't think it will, dude. But
before we go on any event,
that's no knock on onX.
Everybody huddles and decides how many. There's an over/under on how many U-turns there's going to be, and I shit you not, the minute I veer off of any,
everybody gets excited.
People get on the radio. Is that a U-turn?
Yeah.
No, it was a planned 3 lefts, is what it was.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. No, I mean that's exactly what we're trying to reduce, Cody. You're right. I mean, it's just there's so many trails out there, but they change over time. There's things closing, opening. Trails just change. And so the way we're trying to solve that is we've got a whole bunch of trail guides out there in the US, nearly 1,500 of them that are actually going and recording these trails, taking photos, writing descriptions, providing all that so that you can know when to turn around and know in a place where it's, hey, this is going to be closed. We got open and close dates for all the Forest Service land in the country. So really easy to tell. We've even got snow tail sites. So if you're, if you guys are running into snow and you're going, nope, not for me. Yeah, super easy to tell before you even get out there. So don't even waste the gas getting out there. Find somewhere that doesn't have snow and you're good to go.
So the onX off-road map is available on the Apple Play Store, Apple whatever store,
Apple Play Store,
Apple,
or blended
or the Google Play Store.
conglomerates
Like
together.
you could get it from Apple.
Check your podcast feed or something. I don't know.
You can get
whatever's
it from
on Apple.
You can get it from Apple if you want, or the Google Play Store. But it's available on all mobile devices, and so I've got it on my phone, and I'm kind of zooming in and
get
out.
it on my Windows phone.
That's a good question.
You actually have access to the website, so we've actually got the map on the web too. So if you can't get it on your Windows device there, you can always open it up on the web, and it's actually really cool. Like this really cool 3D stuff on the web that you can tilt, and it's a really cool product.
Bases covered. Good.
Yeah.
So the maps itself, like how, looking at how comprehensive the information is that you guys have on those maps, how is that data being compiled and delivered to the consumer? Like, I mean, is it 48,000 gnomes like collecting all that stuff, or is it like 2 people driving around in those Prius from Google with the cameras on top? Like, what's like, how are you getting all the data?
Maybe it's a mix of both of those. No, it's
gnomes
really
in Priuses.
Yes, gnomes and Priuses, but it's really about 15 folks that just do this with the power of 42,000 gnomes. And they're just really stinking good at their job. But what we do is we compile data from all over the country. So all the county governments, cities, state governments, and national government, we pull all the information that they provide anywhere that's available. So you don't have to go search for it in all these other different places. And then we supplement that with real people going out there and validating real trails that are there and telling us what's the truth and what's not. And so when you've got 1,500 folks spread out across the US, we can cover the US pretty quickly. And so far, that little group of folks has thrown in about 5,000 documented trails in the last 2 years, which is pretty quick. And we're adding nearly 1,500 more per quarter, which is a pretty quick tick. So while there's a lot of information that those guys are providing, there's still a ton of information that fills in all the rest of the blanks across the United States. There's I think 600,000 miles of green open trail system to follow in the United States, which is just super easy to find on our app. And then we can help you kind of make some discoveries about what those things mean. So we've got ratings, technical ratings and difficulty ratings. So you're not getting in above your head. As I mentioned, we're providing all the context for around what's around you, what you're going to get into, how difficult this might be, what that gatekeeper might look like. Is there a possibility for body damage? Where do you park your trailer when you're snowmobiling? All the rest of those things are just things that you kind of need to know before you go. Mm-hmm. And then we supplement that with, we're not just providing this before you're getting out there, but while you're out there, we provide solutions that all of this works completely offline. So you don't even need a cell phone signal for this to work. So you see your location updating, see all the map details, all the trails, all the rec points, all the campsites. They're all still there when you're offline because you can just download it offline. And it all just works, which is pretty rad.
And I'm looking at, so I'm pulling up Big Bear, which where Casey is, and Casey's not on the show tonight because apparently Big Bear's
He's
having
dying.
Apocalypse and there's no power and snow and stuff. But I'm looking at a couple trails that we've been on. Clark Summit as an example. Boom, you click on it, it's right there. It's mapped out.
That's right.
Exactly what the elevations are and all the information. There's what the weather looks like. To me, if you're either planning a trip or you're out in an area and you want to go, this is super simple to just go. What trails are around me? But
Can you like mark up the trail too?
that was going to be my
Totally.
next thing. Like, what is above and beyond the? Good
Because
job,
you know,
Matt.
well, I
I'm
was
gonna give you
thinking
some
like in the
credit right
future.
now.
Thank you. In the future, I was thinking, this is where I usually lose my cooler going down, this trail or whatever.
Don't
Be
forget
careful.
to strap the toilet paper right
Yeah,
here.
Make sure to slow down in this coming area. That
But
would be very advantageous.
So for other than the I'm opening the map and I'm going to find someplace to go. Like if I wanted to plan a trip across the Mojave Trail and drop pins for specific points of interest and things like that, like what's the process for someone to be able to use the onX software as a full planning tool?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are nailing it right there. I mean, I love the example of like where that cooler falls out every time because that's one of my favorite markup spots there. But yeah, we offer all the kind of suite of tools that you want to put whatever the heck you want on the map. So we call them waypoints. So if you just want to drop a point and go, hey, saw a really cool campsite here. It's got 4G LTE service. I can listen to my podcast while I'm out here camping too. You can do that. Or you can mark the spot where you accidentally ran through a cow patty with your wife and your side by side and covered her in cow crap. So, that's one of my favorite spots where I'm just like, hey, avoid this area or target this area. And, this is, it's a really fun thing to do. The other thing you can do is you can mark areas, you can draw lines, you can take measurements of distance. You can also plan your own route with a really simple like snap to route builder. So you're really not doing much work. We're just figuring it all out for you. And we're just laying down that track for you and you can follow it later.
As you're mentioning that, I'm looking at like the tools drawer on the app, and there's a lot of tools here that weren't here the last time I used this. The line distance, the area shape, the add a photo. So someone, if there's an obstacle, people can take a picture and add that to a specific geolocation, right? Mark my location.
That's right.
There's a lot of different functionality here. You got a track recorder, which is
so. With all the data you guys gather from all the different, all the users that...
Don't do it, Jose. He's going to start doing like some conspiracy
No,
theory
no.
about 5G.
No. That's my follow-up question. No. With all that data you guys gather, I'm sure you guys can see like trends on like where people go, like hotspots and, off-roading.
Cold spots?
Yeah, and cold spots. But is there a feature on your app where you can send out like, hey, this is like a heavily congested or this is a popular off-road trail. We recommend these for similar results with less travel.
It's like the Waze alternate routes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a really good request. I love the thought of that. We do some of that today.
That shit, Jose. You just blew
Dude,
it.
dude, I think I just got a job.
Yeah, come on, be a product manager, man. Come on.
Move to Missoula.
Dude, I'll move.
Yeah, so I mean, there's features like that in our app. We actually have a partnership with Tread Lightly where we do alert users, like especially down in the Sedona, Arizona area where just trails are packed and overcrowded and everybody's fighting to shut down off-roading. We put these notices in there. It's like, look, if you're trying to take Broken Arrow, like don't be airing up and airing down in front of those people's houses. Like you're putting us at risk of, losing control of these trails or losing access to these trails.
Yeah, but it's
and
Sedona.
So that's available there.
Dude, Sedona's awesome sauce.
No, I know,
man.
but people in Sedona, like, so what? You air down in front of their house.
You know
like,
what?
what are they gonna do? Like,
Hold
they're gonna those hippies are gonna just.
I have an issue. I have an issue with onX. I have to figure out. So I'm on the onX map, and it just pulled up. I just zoomed in on our location, and it's got my wife and I's name on the house. And my neighbor's name and like
Wow.
I'm not even kidding. Like it's got full on like all of our my entire neighborhood. It's got everybody's name. What is happening there?
Your tax address is available. Your contact information might be there.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
so
Jose sold you out, probably.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
Dude.
That's our source for all of this, by the way. It's Jose. He's just giving us all this information.
He's our source for information too.
I was the back door to, you know.
Whoa. So let's skip over Jose's backdoor comment. If I click on the picture of my house, there's a nearby trails, and it lays out different trails. Both looks like these are hiking trails and off-road trails, and that's kind of cool. Like you could just click on a location and go, "What's nearby?"
Yeah, totally. So that's just our engine serving up what we think is the best for you nearby. Sometimes we'll put lists together for you brand new at off-roading. Take something easy. Here's some of the easiest things you can go do. But this is simply, here's what's nearby to you, the easiest things for you to get to no matter where you're at. So, I mean, you could just literally drop a pin wherever. We'll at least feed you some recommendations to go find something. So makes it a little bit easier to find that kind of thing. And then, Jose, to your point too, like our trail guides, when they go and run these things, they're kind of mentioning like, these trails get kind of busy. There's always, these other things around. And this is one of the cool things about our product is like, there's a lot of apps out there that really focus on like these very experiential trails. And that's all they focus on. It's like the very well-known ones. And there's complaints out there of like, man, aren't you guys overwhelming these trail systems? Like you guys are just really unlocking this for way more people. And now it's going to be crammed and I'm not going to be able to go do this. But what we're actually finding is by showing people all the trails that they didn't know about, we're actually spreading a lot of people out. So it's not impacting the trails in the way that a lot of people feared. We're actually getting people into areas that they've never been before. And there's even situations where trails are at threat of closure because no one's using them. So if we can just get people onto those trails, there's some really epic trails down in Arizona and other areas that are at threat of closure just because of that. So there's trails being unused that are at threat of closure even. And we just don't want to lose them.
And I would think that like, you only know the trails right? For most of us, if you're trying to get people into the off-roading and you're like, I'm going to go to this trail because it's the popular trail that I know. If no one ever exposes you to other opportunities, you're just going to continue to hit those trails, right? You're going to hit the Cleghorn. That's right. Cleghorn is like a super busy local trail here, but until you go and experience it somewhere else, you're just going to run the shit out of that one trail. This way you've got the opportunity to find other trails around you. And then one of the things that I think is always a barrier of entry for new people is I don't know where that trail starts or ends,
or severity,
or how hard it is, or if anybody else has ever done it before. Is it even legal for me to be there? Right. Yep. So if you've got an application like yours that can take that piece of the pie out, it makes it that much easier for you to go, let's go find out where this goes.
Yeah. I mean, I was just out with some of the magazine crew with four-wheeler, and they were just mentioning like, I love that private land feature, Cody. You were just mentioning like, yeah, you got my name right there, but like that's the thing that stops you from having a shotgun pointing in your face in the middle of the night on somebody's private property that you accidentally ended up there. You know where you're at. Mm-hmm. So I love that feature. But I mean, there's so much there. I mean, there's directions there, there's difficulty. All the rest of those things are available to you to kind of keep you safe, well informed of what you're getting yourself into. You're not going to get yourself into, hopefully, what you don't know. And then, it expands the breadth of opportunity for you to just get out, hit some trails, things you didn't know before, and things you just might not have known about. And that kind of wondery just kept you from going. So filling in some of those blanks.
And you've got things on here like fires, notification of fires. There's a dumpster fire in Fontana. There's that. You just leave that on.
It's just permanent.
Times. Yeah, permanent.
Yeah, no. everybody knows
that. But again, I think the looking at the app, it's more than just a map with trails on it. You guys have added multiple layers of the things that we as explorers either want to know or may need to know, weather, fire conditions, who owns the land, to help make that experience better for us.
Yeah, we don't want to make you do all the work to figure all this stuff out. So like, there's tons of apps out there, or maps even, that you're trying to find like all these different sources of data, and you need to know what MVUM means and all these other acronyms. And it's like, what do I turn on and off to see all this? Like, throw that away. Open up onX. We just put everything you need to know right there. You don't have to be a map expert. You don't need to know what to turn on and off. You don't have to do shading and layers and all kinds of stuff. You can turn the things off that you don't want to see to get it out of your way, simplify that map. But man, I mean, you can simply just look at the map, and we kind of color code everything. So you kind of open it up, and it's not just this bland white screen with a couple of lines on it. You open it up, and there is just a ton of information right there. You've got color shading over all the land. So quickly you can look at green. Okay, that's Forest Service land. That means I can camp anywhere on that land. Yellow, BLM land. Okay, I can also camp there. Tap on it. Are there any restrictions? Are there fire restrictions going on? And purple is national parks. I know I'm probably not going to be able to off-road in certain areas here. So without even touching anything, you've formed an entire opinion about the land. You've got context to where it is popular to camp, where the terrain is. You can pop the map into 3D and see, like, holy crap, that campsite's on the edge of a cliff, and I'm not going to make it up there with 7 inches of snow on the ground.
Okay,
that's a shelf run.
Stop you right there. So I will going back to my my hodgepodge of getting maps created when I plan these trips. I'm literally like on Google Earth, and I'm like, oh, that looks like a dirt path that's wide enough for vehicles to go on, and I will follow that where it goes and sees. And there have been many times where we get to a point where I'm like, oh shit, you didn't see that gate, or you didn't see that cliff, or you didn't see that. There's so many times where I'm drawing a line on a map, and it's happened where let's go this way, and oh shit, now we can't go that way. Like that's, that could be depending on how far in you are on your trail, that could be a major bummer to have to turn around and go all the way back and around someplace.
Oh, totally. I mean, we're off-roaders. You can get anywhere really fast, and that means you can get nowhere really fast too.
Yes.
And then you're in a lot of trouble. I learned that real fast when I went to Montana. I mean, you're just in the middle of nowhere real fast, and you don't realize it, and you better be prepared for what you got there. But I mean, like you mentioned, Cody, there's information about what's legal in there too. So basically we pull all the information from the government, and the signs when you pull up to the trailhead are all shut up and you can't even read any of them, or they're all faded or collapsed or missing completely. All the data is right there. The same thing. It shows, hey, this is this size trail. These vehicles are legal on it. You can or can't take this type of rig up here. And that way you've at least got some backup information in case that trail signage isn't there.
So so I'm getting like, I'm going down the rabbit hole of just on the map on my phone.
So many questions.
Yeah, I know. What is the best way for either someone coming from a different app or someone that's never really tried to use an app for their outdoor exploration? What's the best path for someone to get started with onX?
Yeah, I would just download the app. You can use it free for 7 days. So you get unlimited access to the features and everything that we offer for 7 days. You see all the trails. You can click on everything, open it up, see all the information, and just give that a try. So time it on, start it on a Monday and get it through that weekend that you're going to go wheeling, and at least just try something nearby to your house or as close as you can find. We've got private parks in there too. So if you're in the South or you're in the East part of the country where you don't have as much public land, there's private parks and all sorts of open riding areas that you can find there too. So just time that, start it, early in the week, get that weekend in there so you get this kind of full experience. You can kind of just open the map and start discovering. You can start marking a few locations that you want to save, and it's like, that looks interesting. Let me go there. Let me mark that and save it. And then go out there and then use that tracker. So you can breadcrumb behind yourself, see exactly where you've been. You get all kinds of cool stats and all the rest of those pieces around that too. But it's also just a good safety piece. And then before you're actually out there, just download an offline map. So there's a big old tab in the middle of the screen that says offline maps. You just tap that, hit new map, and you just save a square of where you want to go. Super easy and simple to download. And then the moment you get out there, you lose cell phone service. It just works for you. So you're not going to have to worry about doing anything special to make that thing work. It's just available. So it just works for you.
I mean, that's super cool. Like I love the idea of having all of those features available to you, especially for someone new to the idea of doing this. I have a question about like the route planning. You talked about dropping waypoints and stuff. Are you able to log in to onX on the web portal and drop those breadcrumbs, or POIs or waypoints or whatever, save them in a layer or something, so that when you do open that map later, I can go, okay, I already marked out all of my waypoints that I want to do on this trip. I just got to follow the path.
Yeah, you can actually do that. And we're actually right in the middle of rolling this feature specifically out to your mobile devices too. So right now it just launched on web. It's been out for about a month. It's called the Route Builder tool. It's the very top tool over on the right-hand pane under tools. And It's the coolest and fastest route building tool that exists out there. I can promise you that. So basically what you do is you just take your mouse and you drop your starting point for where you want to start. And you just move your mouse and you can start moving it around wherever you want to. And you'll see a line automatically populate showing you where that route is following. So it snaps automatically to the trails and the roads around you. And as fast as you can move your mouse, that thing is generating new routes for you that fast. So you can you can drop one point, move your mouse a couple 100 miles over, you'll have a route, drop another point in less than a second, and you're done.
Oh, I love that.
And that
because
thing
because we
shows
have to
up on
do a
your
U-turn,
phone.
I'm going to do that because if we do a U-turn, I'm going to be like, look, we got to call Eric. This is not my fault.
That's right. That's right.
No, and I'll be honest, like that, I think that has the reason I continue to default back to the way that I've always done it is for that flexibility that you're talking about. Like I haven't been able to either wrap my head around how people do it on other applications. I know it's possible, or found the one that makes sense to me in a way that will do what I need it to do. But I love the idea of what you're talking about, where I know I want to do Mojave Trail, and I know we're going to start over here on this side, and I want to end up here on this side, and it's going to show me the options of routes to get there. That's what you're telling me, right?
That's exactly right. Or you can manually override it and go, look, I know the route that I want to take. This is where I want to go. I'm just going to drop a point here and just make it super simple. You can have a couple of clicks and you're like, look, I've got 150 miles of the Mojave already down. And by the way, those are already documented in our app too. So it just makes it super simple to hop in there, plan the whole route for whatever segment you want to do or the entire thing and move on. The cool thing is that when you plan that route, Cody, all that planning will show up on all the devices you log into an onX. So it doesn't matter if you're on iOS, Android, the web, or we support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto too. So all those things show up there. So if you're in your dash and you're just like, got Spotify up on my phone, I've got onX in the dash, follow my route that I planned a couple hours earlier or a couple of days, and I'm good to go.
Dude, you are, I know you're not trying to, but you're selling me hard on this. Because I mean, honestly, I will tell you that the route planning and mapping out our trips, it's a multi-week thing for me. I mean, these guys have seen me do it where I'm like, okay, well, what if we go here and what we campsites here? Like that's another thing I saw on there. It shows trailheads. Your app shows trailheads, campsites, all that stuff. Like that's a multi-week thing for me of like staring at maps going, what if we went this way? Oh, I see a dirt road. And I will literally draw out the trail that we want to go. And then in a different color, draw out the alternates just in case one of those things is we can't get through. Like you're taking all of that off of my plate and making it a much more, not only an easier process, but a more valid and surefire process because someone's already done the vetting as to whether or not you can go down that trail or the gate's closed or it's private land.
Yeah, totally. And that's the goal. Spend less time planning. You can still get all the tools right there, but you don't have to invest that much time. Get on your adventure, man. Go have fun. Like the planning part is really hard sometimes, and you're trying to use all these different sources. We just compile them all into one place for you so you don't have to go do that anymore. Like go spend more time on the trail. If you're spending weeks planning, that's at least an hour more on the trail, right? So
when you log into the website and you log in with your account, is all the functionality there that you would get from the app on the website?
Pretty much. I mean, there's a couple of things that are kind of like mobile specific, like breadcrumb tracking. So if you're on the website, like just not a purpose for that, right?
I could carry my computer.
Yeah, there you go. Just set it up. Yeah, set it up, man, and go with your laptop there. That could actually work. But there's a couple of things like if you download an offline map, like also having an offline map on your computer is not so helpful, but it does create, a new offline map on your phone that you can just go download and like you don't have to do any of the work to do it. So almost all of it's the same. I will mention on the web, the 3D experience is really immersive. So there's some limitations to what you can really do on the phone. Still a really cool experience, but web, I mean, you got the big screen, depending on how big your monitor is, and you could just, fly in, see that terrain, understand exactly what you're getting into. I use it all the time for just avoiding snow at the end of the season up here. So trying to extend my season into dirt, and I can easily find where snow is or might be and how risky it might be to be up in there.
You know how I avoid the snow? I don't live in Missoula, Montana.
That's probably the smart thing right there.
So I'm looking at the website, and you've got 3 tiers. You've got the free trial, the premium, and the elite. And I'm looking at the premium, which I would think would be the route that I would want to go. It's $30 a year.
Some would say you'd pick the elite one.
I would.
You're such an elitist.
I'm more of a premium person. Because I feel like, I mean, I think I'm assuming that's kind of your bread and butter. That's like the most people are pulling down that category. And it's got a lot of features that we just talked about the aerial, hybrid, and topographic base maps, all the waypoints and stuff. There is, what's the, I guess the, if I'm a premium user, is there it says unlimited, so I'm going to say no. So I can make as many offline maps as I want. I can make many waypoints as I want.
Yep. Yeah. So the biggest difference between that premium version that's $30 a year and that elite version that's $99 a year is that feature with your name on your house right there. So people who are paying for the $99 elite program get to see all the private lands across the entire country. We don't sell it by state in the off-road product. On the hunt side, you can buy it, just individual states if you want to. But
elite people aren't worried about the name on my property. I'll tell you that
no
right
way.
now. No, and elite people don't need to know about my little shack here. But I could see that being especially to your point, when you're in those areas where there's a lot of private land and you're exploring those areas, or even real estate development, and because I'm looking at, there was a couple areas I was looking at, and this is going to sound silly, but like there was a couple plots of land at one point that I was like, I wonder who owns that. Like we could do something with that land, and you've got it here. Like this is the person that owns that. It's crazy to see that much data. How many different, if you know off the top of your head, how many different data feeds are there coming into this to create all of these layers?
I don't know the exact number. It's thousands. It's just thousands, though. I mean, it's terabytes of information that we're collecting or building ourselves and gathering ourselves. But I mean, it's countless. I don't know that we could actually put a number on it, because some of it is even manual. Like we're still calling counties to get some of this information that have been outdated for a long time. Oh, really? Some of it's automated, but hey, it's the government. I mean, it takes them a long time to do anything. So like some of the county governments are still sending us floppy disks with data updates. I kid you not. So that still happens.
For some of the millennials in our audience, that is a plastic square that had information on it. You had to stick it in a slot in your computer to make it work.
Some people miss those slots.
You miss those days, the good old days. There was a funny thing. I saw a meme that, off topic, a meme of the lady saying that she was holding up a floppy disk, and one of her students was like, "Oh, how funny! You 3D printed the save icon."
Jeez.
I guess if you're like under 40, if you're under 40, you probably don't know that. The majority of this, it sounds like the majority of these data feeds are coming from like public records, public data, readily accessible information, and then as you're gathering that information from, like you said, tax assessors and BLM and whatever these trail maps are, is your team like zooming in on spaces, going, hey, we have no information in this quadrant right here. Where do we get that?
Yep, absolutely. So we're doing that constantly. And as I mentioned, private parks earlier, some of that is that there's private parks all over for off-roading all over the country that, like, for some reason or not, other people have approached them in the past and gone, hey, we want to map your area because your park is not on any maps. And they're like, they tell the private park, hey, if you pay us, 10 grand, we'll put your park in our app. We don't do that. We just go there and say, for free, we want to provide your app to everybody out there so that everybody can come visit your park, right? And so like we are actively searching that out. And we do have algorithms. We do have automated processes that search out some of these areas and just go, hey, there hasn't been updated here. We don't have any information updating here for 4 years, whether that's the satellite imagery or whether it's the data on the land. Some of that stuff just hasn't changed in a while. And so we'll go and pursue that. and we'll find new sources for that too.
Yeah, let's do something with the satellite satellite imagery, because my when you zoom in on my house, it still has the blue tarp on the back of the roof when I had a leak on the roof, and I already got that fixed. Like, I don't want this shitty blue tarp on the top of my house.
Dude, that's a big industry right
Ghetto.
now. The GIS.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like a industry that's blowing up that no one's really talking about. It's all satellite stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible, really. Actually, it's pretty crazy the definition that some of those satellites can get these days, and just you see it all over the place. And it's not just in the U.S. anymore, but all over the globe. So I mean, it's just feeding every bit of information that we have, and like satellites are flying all the time, but it's like the right time of year, the right day, the right cloud cover, the right weather that you've got to wait on to get that perfect imagery. And so sometimes you just got to wait it out, and until a satellite flies over the right place, you got the right conditions, you're just kind of waiting on some of that.
And I know this is probably done like down in the weeds, but like, how many terabytes of data on a day-to-day basis are you guys either converting or housing? Like, I feel like you're going to need all of Missoula just to hold the information.
I know, right? Yeah, I don't. It's probably more than terabytes, to be honest. That would be a great dashboard for us to have, just like how much data are we moving every day. That would be really awesome. But we do update basically the entire United States across all changes every single week. So the map gets updated with that latest data every single week. And that stuff is it's a major process.
I don't
It's pretty
even
insane.
update my own personal calendar every week. Like, how are you guys doing that?
It's our skills, man. It's the
Algorithms
42,000
and
gnomes.
spreadsheets.
No, yeah, the gnomes, all the gnomes. Like, you know, the population of the working gnomes has really skyrocketed over the last couple of years.
Has it been crazy to see the routes people have tracked like all over the world?
Oh my god, I would love for
Yeah,
him to
dude.
have real time on us, being like, "Where the hell are these guys going?"
No, but they're probably like, how the hell did someone get in that area? Like,
So I will, and I say this proudly, we almost never look at proprietary or private information from any of our customers. If you're calling in to get help about the app or like what you're trying to do, like we'll absolutely dive into your account and try to help you. But we don't really provide any source of like, here's where our customers are going. And this is all based on our hunt experience. Like we are a hunting company at our core, and your spot is private, man. We don't want to share that with anybody. We don't want people seeing like where you're going. And same thing for the off-road space. We're all sharing trails, but like, you know, that secret spot that not many people know, that it takes you certain times to get down there. And like, you just don't want that being exposed to everybody. So while I can look at like a whole conglomerate of like, man, our users are tracking all over the country, I don't have any way of saying, man, Jose, saw where you were last weekend. What's up with that?
They've got an alarm in the onX headquarters.
yeah,
It's
he's
like,
on the move. He's on the move. He's on the move.
like, Cody's making a U-turn again, dumbass, and they're all sitting there like, laughing, like and paying out bets.
Matt and Jose hanging out again. What's going on with that?
It's, daily, multiple times a day now.
What is your favorite feature of the app?
Man, I'm a little bit biased, and I got a new feature that's only available on the web product called My Garage. Lets you upload photos and modifications of your vehicle that we are just getting started with. I mean, our plan is to let you do all kinds of customizations, share your ride with all kinds of people all over the onX kind of universe, so that other people can just see, you know, what you're riding. I also want to provide some context, like, hey, Cody, if you said you went and ran this trail last weekend, and you say, you know, I want to report this in the app, I want to see what you were riding so that I know exactly how difficult it is. If my rig can make that same thing, like if I'm in a Tacoma on 35s and you're in a Jeep on 37s, 38s, and we're trying to do the same trail, like I'd kind of like to know that. So that's the information that we're trying to do. And it's a brand new feature that we're introducing very, very early, but that'll be showing up in the app early next year too. And you'll be able to do all sorts of integrations with it. You'll be able to say, like, just show me the trails that I can ride in this vehicle, or like filter it down to this. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So lots of really cool things coming there, and just really cool thing. We just had over 10,000 vehicles added in there from our customers, which is really cool. People are loving it and just finding a good passion with it, and just putting all the cool shit that they do in their rigs and all the modifications they spend their money on too. So it's pretty cool.
What's the product roadmap look like for you? I mean, are you, as you're laying out this product, I'm assuming you've got features and and rollouts laid out for months on end. Are you, as you're rolling these things out, are you already stacking up the next set of features and benefits?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, I've probably got 3 years worth of stuff I need to build right now. But the biggest focus is strictly on route building. We're doing all sorts of stuff. I mean, you're going to get bigger offline maps. You're going to get improvements to basically every area in the app constantly because we do twice monthly app updates. So every other week you see updates in every store. But yeah, we're really, really focused on helping you plan your trip and then share that with the people that you're going with. I mean, you might go alone, but heck, off-roading is kind of a family friends kind of thing. So this route builder, you're going to start seeing that start showing up on your mobile devices where you can start building those really fast routes on the go. Or, you mentioned the fire layer earlier, Cody, but if you got a trip plan and you run into a fire that's popped up overnight, you can quickly modify that plan, share it out with your group completely offline so that everybody can follow the thing and be, part of your adventure. So trip planning, route planning is a really big focus of ours. And then a lot of focus on the inside of your vehicle experience. So that tracking experience, giving you that nice navigation view, giving you turn-by-turn navigations to the places you want to go. Right now, we bounce you out to Google or Apple to get your turn-by-turn, but they don't know the backcountry. We do. So we want to give you that right inside the app. And so get it really quick, just kind of mindless. You don't even have to think about it. Take me there and you're gone. So that's the biggest focus that we'll be spending time on. But things like My Garage, being able to filter more, getting a lot more personalized. So if we start seeing that, hey, you're a Jeep guy, a Toyota guy, a Ford guy, here's the kind of things that other Ford owners are doing. Here's the trails that they're running. All the rest of those cool stuff. Yeah. Yep.
That's what Ford owners do.
That's exactly right.
Spend a lot of time at the mechanics, huh?
I haven't had to change my alternator and brakes and gears, and
those are all
soon.
Soon. So going back to the build, you briefly touched on the build and share, like the route planner building. Love that. But then the idea that you can, if everybody in your group has the same onX app application, you can share that. I can go, boom, I'm going to share this with these users, and then they can pull that up on their app as well.
That's right. Yeah. So if you're online and you're sharing that stuff, the people that you're sharing it with will even see all the updates that you're making. So like if you want to change the color of that track, if you want to change some of the details of notes or photos in it, they'll see all that in real time as you're making that. If you're offline, you can still take it. You can export it in a GPX, throw it over to them over AirDrop or Android Nearby, let them open that up, and they can open it right in their app without any service, and they've got the plan right there. They won't see those updates until they're back online if you're making changes to it, but it's a good way to share some information.
But I love that because in the past, using my clunky way, it was I had to export the GPX file, send it to somebody, and everybody had a different.
Find a printer, print it out.
Fax it, please.
Yes, yeah.
Go to Kinko's.
Go to Kinko's.
But then everybody had
buy
to,
a bunch of binders.
Depending on what application they were using, would bring up a different variation of that.
Yep.
I like the idea that if everybody's on the same app, everybody's going to see the same thing at the same time. Is there, with the premium plan, is there limitations to how many people you can share the map with?
No limitations. All unlimited. Yeah, all the features are unlimited there. So the only time you're going to really run into where you don't get to see certain things or where you don't get to use certain things, if you've gone through that 7 days where you get the product for free and you decide not to buy it, you do lose access to seeing certain trails. You can't download a whole bunch of offline maps, and you lose a couple of other things where it's just, some of those tools that are really nice and helpful. But when you're in premium or when you're in elite, basically everything is unlimited. We're not going to limit you on how much you can download or the sizes or anything like that. So it's, free game. Add all the markups you want, add waypoints, draw routes, all you want. It's yours.
I mean, if I'm going to be honest, the $30 a year seems like
is it $30 for the year?
Yeah, it's $30.
$30 a year.
That's.
I don't think there's anything else in our off-roading hobby.
That is yes.
Except for Cody, I think it's weekly for Cody.
Yeah, they're like, okay, Cody needs. I need this. How do I get the?
And that's to pay for the guy,
the tech support team,
that's ready to go.
How do I get the full technical support system where I get
still worth it?
I get the private cell phone number of your lead engineer to go, hey dude,
he'll help you get to the job.
Look, I'm standing here next to this green tree and a brown bush. Can you help me get home? Can you please? Or just look at my map. Tell me, look up on me. Tell me
Yeah,
which direction to go.
You can't do that, dude.
I know. But honestly, $30 a year in the grand scheme of things, when you think about the app, not only just normal applications in our world, but like in the off-road and overlanding space, that seems like a very reasonable price for the feature set you just described to us.
Yeah, I mean, I know of a tire company selling windshield wiper blades for $75 a pair. I mean,
Wow.
I don't know what else you can buy for $30 to go off-roading. You can't even buy a radio for that. So it's just like for what it offers and like what you can do with it, there's no better value for what you're gonna get out of it.
Not in SoCal on the windshield wipers until today. It's like a big run
Yeah,
on
all of a
on
sudden, windshield wipers were $4 last
Right,
week.
exactly.
Now they're $40 a pop, and they're out of stock for 3 weeks. They got to order them. By the time they show up, you're like, look.
It rained. It
Yeah.
rained for the year. Like, I'm not gonna get them now.
Mm-hmm, yeah, 300 days of sunshine, man. I like the downside is my corporate office is in Portland, and I constantly give them shit about the rain, and it was not bad there today, and it was a shit show in my house. So what? How do you think the community as a whole would benefit from? You talked about the features, but I mean, like, what do you think the biggest overarching benefit is to your app? Because in my mind, I've got like the 30-second sales pitch. I want to hear what you think it is.
I think it's simply just I know everything around me and all the opportunity that I can take at just a glance. I mean, it's just make my job easy. I mean, or make my hobby easy. I find myself constantly looking for ways to like make things easier to go off-roading. I mean, there's hundreds of things I'm putting in to like go camping and all the rest of this crap. Whatever can save me a little bit of time is worth it. And this saves me weeks of time often. Like if I'm planning a trip, like it's taking me a couple of minutes and not weeks of research now. So, I mean, it's a huge time saving. It's making it easier. And heck, we can be lazy sometimes too. Like this is the easier way to do it.
I think it's also discovery, right? Like, I mean, we've ran the Mojave Trail a number of times, and who knows how much stuff we're passing, like, hey, did you know there's like a, whatever,
Another
a
water
talking
well?
cactus?
yeah, exactly. I was trying to keep it PG. But, there's something really super interesting. We've been passing for like 10 years, but, there's like an old mailbox that aliens used to drop off, messages. Or, you know what I'm saying.
Well, so I find it interesting that...
Did you wait? What did you say?
I find it interesting that...
Did he say what I think he said? I'm trying to keep it PG.
I find it interesting that Eric...
Fuck it. Like,
I find it interesting that Eric talked about the time saving and ease. You talked about...
Am I dropping off or receiving?
It's returning a specimen that they already took from you. Like you already...
Okay.
They like extracted what they needed, then like just in case
I gotta
you
go
need that
all
back,
the way out
yeah.
Mojave Trail to get it back.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So Eric...
Thank you.
Mark it with a waypoint.
Yes.
Thank you for that
Make sure if you...
Is that a hotspot on the Mojave Trail?
That's,
The aliens send you a message. They're like, if you want those cells of your body cells back, you got to download the onX
does the
app.
$30 a year cover that surcharge?
yes.
Like,
it does. Yep. Unlimited.
Including
It can happen more than once.
courier fees or anything
Yes.
on their end.
Alien, good. They've got all the alien drop-off locations mapped on a different color. So
This
Eric
really is like it does it all.
Eric talked about the ease of use. You talked about discovery. My overarching umbrella thing.
I'm worried about the discovery now.
Is
It's not
is
as
the
exciting.
sounds
kind of gross.
is the reduction of anxiety and an increase in certainty as you go out on the trail. Again, going back to being very directionally challenged and putting together these trips for groups of people, like there's always a sense of I could be leading all of these people to
their
imminent
doom.
doom.
Yeah.
Like, and I almost did Vampire Mind. I
I
did.
just want to talk about this past week. You almost killed
Vampires.
That guy jumped out in front of me. I don't give a shit. He was looking for a night in the hospital. My point being, like,
in all honesty, he probably was.
yeah. My point being, we'll talk about that in the next segment. But my point being is, like, for each of the three of us that just brought up what we thought was the best overarching feature, it was different. But all of the features that you talked about in this whole conversation played into our specific needs based on what we think we need.
Yeah, it seemed very capable.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. What do I got to do, man? What's the next step? Like, how do people just get this and start exploring?
Yeah, so download the app, iOS, Android. You can open it on web, onxmaps.com or onxoffroad.com. You can follow us at onX Offroad on Instagram and basically any other social channel. We're even on TikTok, so there's some fun videos on there. So you can find us pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, nice. TikTok videos of people not getting lost, I'm sure.
That's right, yeah.
Which is the exact opposite of what's on our TikTok page. It's just all of us walking around not knowing where we're at because we don't.
We all need a little balance in our lives.
I'm already downloading this because I just want to find that alien jizz box like somewhere.
Nobody said that's not what it was.
That's what you implied.
No,
dude.
I'm
That's
saying
exactly what you
no.
said.
Okay, we have to clarify.
That's pretty much
That's
exactly
not what
you
I said. You were abducted. They took a sample,
And now I
they
need
were
to get it
returning
back.
the sample back.
It's
But
the
why
jizz
did you go?
box.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Google, Siri.
Hey, by the way, Alien Jizzbox is playing at Coachella.
Playing Coachella. They've been playing Coachella for years, dude.
Poor Eric. I am sorry, sir.
Matt, I think you just turned into another one of those sources that we just gather information from. So,
Yes.
like, just
You
keep
guys
sending us
already-
locations.
Guys, I found another one.
I
There's another one. This
I'll
one's
give you
got
my phone
stuff
number.
in it. Let
of
me
all-
send you some photos.
Yeah, first of all, Eric, I'm surprised you don't already know about the files that exist on me. But go ahead and hover over my just hover over Fontana, and you'll find my files.
The one's on fire. You know, everything's on fire. there.
Smoldering, yes, exactly. It's a constant smoldering fire.
I want to say that
I tried, Eric. I tried to be PG, and then this guy over
no,
here.
you took specimen and went the wrong direction with it. I was thinking biological sample, which I guess is the same thing.
Yeah, you both aren't wrong. Like,
I want to say this weekend. This week.
I'm sorry, but you know the episode's title is Alien Jizz Box, right?
No.
Yes, it is.
I'm not gonna be like Eric Evans and the Alien Jizz Box. That's not good for him.
Yeah, Eric's
Yeah,
gonna tell-
maybe separate my name from that one.
We'll
That's
use that one different. But
Eric Evans and the Alien Jizz Box. That's a good band
Dude,
name,
it's either-
dude. That is a killer band name, dude. It's like Huey Lewis in the News, but better.
oh shit! I tell you, this week at SEMA, there was people walking around with shirts that said "Shit Show Supervisor," and I was like,
Yes.
"I need that shirt."
We didn't get it. We
You
should've
didn't buy
gotten
it,
And these
dude.
guys were going to get shirts that just said "Shit Show."
We're the shit show.
And nothing exemplifies that more
it's
than this
perfect.
episode right now. And I apologize to you, Eric, for having to endure it.
You know what?
I think this is the greatest time ever.
I'm always
It's just totally worth
apologizing.
it.
Like every guest, every week. I'm sorry about this. But you know,
dude, you
people
can play
say
a reel of magic. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm
You're
sorry,
like,
guys. I don't know why.
We could probably fill up an hour of Matt apologize. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said Jizzbox. I'm sorry. Shit. Eric, dude, you have been, first of all, I'm super stoked on this app. And I told you earlier that I had tried it maybe a couple years ago, probably before you were there. And now, after hearing all the features and benefits that you have, I am absolutely 100% going to download it and try it again. I am very excited about the planning and the things that it offers. It sounds like it's right in my wheelhouse. And you have been awesome to deal with us for the evening. And I thank you so much for your time. Anything parting before we go? Anything else that you want to mention?
Yeah, man, just send us your feedback. So you guys have my phone number, so you can literally reach me directly. And so your feedback goes directly into our development team. But we listen to feedback from customers all the time. So we actually have a customer service team that's, huddled down in their blankets here in Montana, real humans, ready to answer questions. You can call them, talk to them. It's actually real. And, and so we've got tons of customer service. We listen to feedback. We drive everything we do off that customer feedback to make sure we're solving their problems. And we do care about that. So we're authentic. This is built by off-roaders. We're all off-roaders that are building this thing for off-roaders. We're doing this thing with you. We're on the trails with you, and can't wait to see you out there.
This is awesome, Eric. Thank you so much for your time. Everybody go to onxmaps.com, download the app from your chosen app store.
Hey, there is a dumpster fire in Fontana.
I told you.
Oh, damn.
They knew. He knew before.
He did know.
So, all right. Thanks, Eric. We appreciate you very much. You have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
All right. We're going to end the recording there.
You didn't hang up.
Yeah, you didn't hang up. We are still live, so don't say anything you don't want on YouTube.
Dude, we just talked about alien jizz
I'm
box.
just saying.
Is there any
That was-
that's like no holds barred?
That was a catastrophe. I'm not even sure why that happened.
You opened the door with biological samples.
I was
and
thinking.
then,
I was thinking
yeah.
like your blood sample or
Sure you
like
did.
Oh yes,
It's all fair game at that
because
point.
we're so mature. Would think of blood samples.
Exactly.
rectal tissue sample.
That's a different box.
You have to go to the other
couple-
side of the Mojave.
it's a couple miles away.
This is the box for the front side. This is the
trail.
box for the back side.
Same trail, just
If you want both samples, you have to do the full trail. You can't just do
different
that.
trailheads.
You realize now we're gonna have to do the Mojave Trail, and someone's have to go out and put an alien jizz box in the middle of it before we go.
I'm on it, dude.
I'm
on it.
I don't even want to know. So like I had said earlier, we will. I'll get this out either Thursday or Friday once I get it edited and clipped together. I'll send you all the details with the when it gets posted, both for social and then when it's available for download. But it'll hit all of the major download platforms when we release it. And if you need anything between now and then, let me know. Otherwise, we'll like I said, I'll send you the email and we can go back and forth after that. And then if we do have any feedback, we'll definitely let you know.
Sweet. Sounds great.
All right, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
You have
you,
a great
sir.
night.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Good chatting with you.
Bye.
Thanks, Eric.
Bye.
Yeah, I've already had this app.
Yeah, I did too. Like I said,
I tried it when they were doing a strong push when they first came out with
Yeah.
it, and I tried. I'm like, nah, but
I really want to give it a good shot again. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. I'm super bummed that Casey missed that conversation about the alien sample return location.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Jizz box.
I think
trailhead.
those.
Alien trailhead?
Oh shit! I think you guys noticed Carlos is back in the studio.
Hey.
Good to have Carlos back. He's back in the studio, and Casey's out. So
Didn't even miss a beat.
like I said, Casey's up in Big Bear, and they lost power, and it's snowing, and so he's hunkered down with the baby and trying to keep everybody warm. We'll talk to him. Talk to him next week. Betty White in the chat.
If he survives.
If he survives. Betty White in the chat room. I did not, but I also have not checked my mail in like 2 weeks because I've been traveling. So they may be sitting on the bar in the stack of mail that my mom. That my wife gathered.
Whoa, Freudian slip
right there.
Mom, want some meatloaf? So I will check after the show to see if they're in that stack. If not, I will let you know. So we are back from SEMA.
We survived.
We survived, barely survived. So we got out there Tuesday. Kevin
Toyo barely survived.
We'll talk about that. So what we're gonna do is
What a way to make an introduction,
man,
you know?
dude.
we're gonna do a quick recap. We don't need to go through everything, Matthew. We're gonna give a recap of the events,
I'm
and
just
then
teasing. It's
and-
called a tease.
a tease, and then we have a bunch of interviews that we want to give more time to. Than
I
we
mean,
can
it
give.
is ironic. We have like a trail map guest on tonight, and we're referencing like your horrific sense of direction. Like
It was bad. It
no-
was so bad.
Like, oh my god!
It was-
so. I can't wait to tell that story. That's a good one.
So we got out there Tuesday morning. Went
Dude,
straight.
it was fucking nonstop since we got there.
Yeah,
right? Like,
it was. We dropped off the truck, went straight over to the show. Went right into a meeting. The three of us and 3 people from another organization sat down and had a long conversation. that went really well, at least from our perspective. If you're out there listening, we thought it was good. And then
They're like, these idiots.
These fucking assholes.
Please, yeah, I haven't heard from you in 3 days. Did you have fun on our date? So anyways,
Shit.
and then it was Tuesday. I mean, that was Tuesday. Wednesday was all day in the West Hall. It was interview after interview after interview all day in the West Hall.
Forgot about Tuesday night. We almost had like a financier that I almost roped in.
that's
So
right,
apparently
dude.
Tuesday night
You forgot about that, Jose?
And now I remember.
I was- I was
we had a
tired
VC
Tuesday
invest-
night. I went to bed early, and apparently these guys sold the Trail Chaser LLC trademark to some
That's
dude at
about-
O'Shea's.
Dude, I signed something. I don't know what I signed.
This guy was like, "Are you shooting for millions? You
Yeah.
should be shooting for tens of millions." And I was like, "Dude, let's
He's
call
like,
Cody
bro,
right now. Like, let's do it. Where do I sign? Dotted line?" Yeah, it was.
See what
This is
happens?
official, right? It's in O'Shea's,
Dude,
like a
over game
prominent-
of beer pong.
over. Yes, and you know what? I threw that game on
You
purpose.
fucking yeah, dude. You fucking asshole. So this guy, dude. So me and Matt were playing beer pong, and this guy was just fucking raining.
I was
in.
like Kobe Bryant.
yeah, dude.
I had to drink
couldn't-
some for
Dude,
him.
I had to stop drinking because he was making them so fast. Like, give me a second, dude. Like, just shoot again.
I was on a
I'll
run.
catch up.
I was on a run, and then the table next to us with
Yeah.
again our
Our angel investor.
our angel investor and some other dude.
He saw
couple of
Matt's
chicks.
fucking raindrops over there.
And he comes up like, "Fools, you guys want to? We'll challenge you." And I'm like, "Bitch, did you just see what I just did? I just ran a trail on Jose. Like he's I ran a train trail, whatever. I just kicked some ass."
And
so
just like the Dodgers, bro.
we just took that.
Fucking choked at the time I needed you the most, dude.
I did. It was horrible. We lost by one though. It was still close.
Yeah.
But after that, he was like, "I got these guys right where I want."
Yeah,
them."
dude. He's like, I got these assholes.
Jeez. I'm gonna.
I don't know. I don't think that guy knew what a podcast was. He just said, dude, you guys want to make money? I want to make money. What's wrong with making a lot of money together?
He made a lot of sense. He's like,
you're
"Hey, do
right,
you like
dude.
money? I do. Then let's make it."
Yeah, let's make money together.
man.
I'm like,
I am so grateful that I was in my room asleep while you guys were having that conversation.
I'm kind of grateful you were too, because
Because I would have been, yeah.
Cody would have been like stranger danger.
Stranger danger. Perry, Perry's in the chat room asking if anybody's driven the coast of Oregon. I'm heading to Coos Bay in the next week or two and looking for good spots. There is, I think it's just north of there is the Oregon Dunes. That was a lot of fun.
All of a sudden, Cody's a fucking expert.
No, I've only been there. I've only been there once, and there's a video on our Instagram of what the name of the place is. I don't remember what it was called. I'm looking it up right now, but I can't find it. But I think it's just the Oregon Dunes Day Use Area. Check it out. It's not very far north of Coos Bay. That's absolutely worth going. So Tuesday was the intro. I was asleep early. These guys were partying that night. Wednesday was all day hanging out at the West Hall, doing a bunch of interviews with different people, which we'll play in the next few days. Wednesday night. Oh shit. Wednesday night we went to a party afterwards.
why are we not?
I don't know. I don't think it's a fucking secret, is it?
No, I just hadn't gotten to that point. Are we concerned? I mean, you post something on it?
No, I didn't. I took pictures, but I didn't post anything.
Matter of fact, I took pictures too that I forgot to post. So we were at
I
the.
took a
Like
selfie.
I'd like
with
to
you guys.
brag about things, Like
I took a selfie with you guys that I really don't remember taking one, and man, my eyes are pretty glossy.
we
did you have shark eyes?
Oh yeah, dude, it was like black.
So we were at a party with Toyo at the UFC headquarters on Wednesday night, and there were two gentlemen that Jose was very excited about. Who were they?
Cowboy Cerrone and Brian Ortega.
Okay, two guys that Jose was very excited about. You could visibly see his excitement.
I'm a fan. What the fuck?
I bet you are. After that night. So that we went to the party at Toyo. on the way home, we gave some people
Some other things happened.
Some other things happened. We gave some people a ride back to the hotel.
Nobody died. Nobody died. Nobody died.
We gave people a ride in the hotel. Then on
There was people with capes at some point, and
that poor guy, dude. That poor guy. Like all Cody had to do was turn right and head toward the Win and the Encore.
Dude, why was he
it's
coming
like
in so
very
hot?
clearly on the right hand side. I'll turn left, and then we're in some part of Vegas. Like
dude, I don't know where
I
the
mean,
fuck
where
we
the
were.
fuck?
yeah, it was very dark.
It was dark.
It
as
was
fuck.
home. It was
dark.
homeless town.
Dude,
Like,
there
It
was
was
no
dark.
fucking street
It
lights
was
on that
dark
street,
as
dude.
shit, and I went to make a U-turn, which I know
Dude, you
surprises
came
the
into
shit
that
out of
driveway
everybody.
fucking hot.
I pulled
Dude, he
it
comes
in.
in. I swear to God, it's like, why are you coming in so hot? I'm sitting there. I've been drinking all night.
Oh, dude.
And I'm thinking, why is he coming into this parking lot so hot? Watch out for that guy. And he does
His
like
cape.
this poor homeless dude has a blanket over him because it was cold. It was cold in Vegas.
It was.
And here comes this fucking Ford coming in hot, and he does like a shuck and jive move.
He does the Heisman on him, dude.
Yeah, and the guy is like, I saw his face, like, what the fuck? That poor guy went, what the fuck? I stopped and started going back this way, and then you went back at me. That's exactly what happened.
As I pulled into the parking lot,
and then you hit the gas because that guy was going to come at you, and I wouldn't have.
As I turned left into the driveway, he was on the right-hand side of the driveway. As I made my turn, he stepped towards the left of the driveway. So I was like gonna let him cross and go behind him. So I turned right,
The whole
and
thing
then
is,
he
you
jumped
came in
back.
at 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, dude.
Like you could have just it wasn't like you were trying to beat opposing traffic.
There was
coming the other way.
nobody there,
There was
dude.
no reason to come in hot like that. And whatever, you did it, and then hit the gas through the parking lot. Like I gotta get the fuck out of here because I almost killed this dude. And then we all just started laughing. And, somehow that guy was a vampire and he's Van Helsing trying to kill him. There's like all kinds of shit. We're all trying to laugh it off. And then we get off, we finally get to the hotel. Finally. Like it's right on the other side of the freeway.
There's a giant
and they
fucking sign.
couldn't have jumped out of that truck any faster. Getting the fuck out of here.
I'm telling you,
Who were they?
Those
It was Kevin Toyo and, his, the other guy.
the people from Toyo Tire got to fully experience what the
Shit show supervisor
what
is
the
all
open country RT trail could do in the trails of Vegas is what I was. It was.
Dude, how the fuck do we end up in these situations? Like, dude, what the
I don't know. Like it was like, and the whole time I'm like, this motherfucker talks shit about me dropping off the Crofts at the airport. and it was a straight shot, like through an airport, into an airport right to the drop-off zone. And I'm like, this guy, look at this guy. Can't even.
What?
It says win, like right there.
And Clay and Rochelle Croft won't remember you. These two guys will never forget that
that's
night.
true.
They will never
That's
forget
true.
that night.
I should have threatened to kill people. And, you know what? If I almost look,
You
we
should
were
have
on
tried to
the-
kill werewolves instead.
we were on the dark side of
Irvine.
Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I'm talking about Orange County. If I'd have tried to run anybody off the road, it'd have been a front page news, like this idiot trying to get people to the airport, trying to kill
Yeah,
people.
dude. We talked to a lot of interesting people that night too at the
Yes.
table, dude.
Yes.
It was,
Lots. We held court, dude. I think we held court.
It was very cool. We had a lot of interactions with a lot of people on Wednesday night. Thursday was another day of some interviews, walking the show.
Thursday afternoon was probably the day I start running out of gas.
Yeah, I could feel it. I could feel it too. And then Thursday night, you got your second wind when we hooked up with the guys at All Dogs Off Road and Con Media and closed down.
That was fun.
Well, I guess we didn't close it down. Vegas never shuts. But
you're right, dude. I need one of those power links on me to see.
The what?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
With the blinking.
Oh, we're gonna talk about
Oh man, that was fun.
Optima Battery has a new
I was gonna like break in. I'm like, you know what? Jose was blinking the same codes at me last night, red and green and long and short and whatever. And I knew he was done. But
Optima has a new really, really cool product that connects to their batteries and it gives you status of their batteries by a series of codes. And the first thing we could think of of was how do we plug that into Jose? How do we get that data out of Jose so we know when he's about to crash?
Jose was asking how you guys plug that into.
Yeah, exactly.
And so Thursday night, I was at one point Thursday. I was in these guys the room, and I was like, if we don't leave right now, I am going back to my room to watch a movie and go to sleep. And you're like, nope, let's go. And we went downstairs, and Matt wanted to do karaoke.
We found the karaoke spot, but by the time we got back to it, it was
back
pianos.
into doing
piano bar,
pianos.
yeah. And then if anybody offers you total destruction. Jose,
hey, dude,
look, no, hold on. Before you get to defend yourself, we walked by this slushy daiquiri bar thing every day when we came down from the elevator, and they had a drink called Total Destruction. And Jose, we're getting fucking totally destroyed this weekend.
This is how we're starting it off. Thursday
Totally
night,
destroyed.
guys.
So Thursday night, we go down to get Total Destruction, and it was the
fucking things were like $30 a piece or something too. It's like,
and it was the most sugary sweet.
Oh, dude, it was like it wasn't even like frozen. It was like fucking syrup, dude.
It was so bad, and unfortunately, Jose said we didn't have to finish it. And
I was like,
all threw them away.
I'm like, guys, don't finish. Somebody asked, how much destruction's in there?
That was me, because we were having the conversation with the bartender behind, and she was like mixing it. And I'm like, I don't want total destruction. Can we just get partial destruction? And I was trying to get her to
take his destruction.
I was
please.
trying to get her to pour mine really, really light.
Whatever
yeah.
destruction you don't put in his, could you put into mine?
It was absolute crap.
It was still
It was
disgusting.
fucking, dude. It was just pure syrup. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't even like a hard drink. It was just fucking sugary syrup. It's pretty crazy.
So then, but by the time we started our Total Destruction, and then the text messages started coming in from the other
things
guys,
start getting blurry from there.
And it's like 9 o'clock, and we're getting on the monorail to go meet up with some people. I was like, we're clearly not going to the show tomorrow, and we didn't. We woke up Friday. It was everything we could do to get our stuff packed, and then hit the IHOP.
Whatever, we got up. We were ready to go, but it was still like, dude, I'm beat. Like,
Yeah.
I'm physically beat.
We walked like 7 miles a day.
Yeah, and then it was pretty much over after that. Like, that's the thing about SEMA. Like the first day and a half, it is like a bit overwhelming. Like, oh my god, look at all these kick-ass, whatever. And then day 2 or 3. Yeah, I mean, there's another really nice, overland rig, or there's another Countach, or there's another, like I've already seen like 3 days worth of shit, whatever. Oh, there's a whole nother haul? Yeah, I don't know. What do we have to go do that? Do we have interviews that we have to do?
Well, so we got all the interviews we had to do that we agreed to do between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but there were some people that we wanted to try to connect with that had reached out to us to try to connect, and we'll talk about them when we get the full recap that we just weren't able to pull off. And I am super glad I came home. We came home when we did on Friday, because I was wrecked Saturday. We already had tickets to a concert.
Oh, the fucking buffalo popcorn. Who's that in the which one of the All Dogs guys is that in the chat room? Because we were sitting in the Sahara.
Yes.
Like, we just took over like a back room. Nobody, I didn't
There was
ask.
nobody sitting there.
The people had just walked out, and I'm like, all right,
Ours.
this is ours. So we took over with the Com Media guys, and then after
I had a
don't
dart
know.
in my neck at that point.
Yeah, dude, I was pretty. Again, I needed the reminder in the chat room. But I'm like,
one
do you
eye
guys
was
have,
definitely closing slower
Do
than
you guys
the
have any like food or something I could use? Like, I'm pretty hungry. She's like, yeah, like we have popcorn. Fucking popcorn. Like, this seemed like kind of a fancy thing. Just here's some popcorn, but I'll take it. I'll take that popcorn. And she comes in. It was like a plastic canister. Like they tried to fancy it up. And I remember opening it up. Yeah, somebody else can have this shit. It's probably $100 I just spent on this stupid fucking popcorn. Kyle. That was Kyle. Yeah, that was again one of those things. Like, Oh, that's right. You know,
dude.
that's
there's
probably
going to be
of things like that.
yeah, there's going to be for the next month. There's going to be conversations that like that you guys are going to remember
when my belly starts showing and it's like, oh my God, I'm pregnant.
Oh, I will say these jackasses. We walk into the link, back to the link, and this is prior to meeting up with Kyle and All Dogs and those guys, and they went into this little snack shop to get a drink, and I couldn't figure out what I was going to get to drink. I wanted to get something to drink, and I ended up like they bought their alcohol, beer or whatever it was, and they're standing back like mocking me. And Matt's like, the ones over there have alcohol in them. And I could hear him talking to Jose about this pansy ass, blah, blah, whatever. And I turn around with
That's pretty low level. I mean, I'm ashamed of myself for even going
and
there.
I turned around with my Diet Mountain Dew and my Fireball, and I opened them up and started pouring it in. And Matt was like, oh my God, I take it all back. I take it all back.
That is right.
So I did have some mountain balls in Vegas.
You.
I'm tried to have some mountain balls in Vegas, and
got to pay extra sometimes for that.
I will say, did you know that you can order a Thai massage to your hotel room?
Yeah,
in Vegas. I did not know that, but it's an option if anybody ever wanted to do that.
It's like,
we never confirmed or never confirmed that if there's a pisser in those.
In the Ferris wheel.
There is no. I talked to Tammy about it because I was telling this story. There is no bathroom inside the Ferris wheel at the link.
Well, that seems like a real fucking shitty proposition if you're getting the unlimited drinks. Like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, but they
do they smell funny? Like,
I mean, bro, if you walk in to that place hammered and then you can start fucking drinking, like, just start pounding it down.
Getting after it because it's like you said, all I can drink. I only got 40 minutes on this thing. Guess what's happening?
Dude,
I'm throwing them down.
Yeah.
It's
where do you pee?
It's not wet
You
outside.
don't.
Like you would think it'd just be perpetually wet from people just pissing out the window.
Drip. They just put drain holes in the bottom.
Like a drip
Dude,
pan.
there has to be a place to pee.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's not. I've been in them, and this is what they're just glass balls. They're just
The thing that's different about it.
They're just glass balls that you go into, and they don't have bathrooms in there. And when you get that all-you-can-drink package, they literally just roll in like what would be the equivalent of a taco cart.
Where were those guys at? We didn't see those guys.
Yeah.
Those hunky gentlemen.
I'm trying
There's
to show
a couple
video.
half-naked cowboys on this video we're watching.
I'm trying to see.
Dude, but this just sounds like a fucking horrible idea. Like, how do you not have?
Which is why I told you we weren't going to do it.
I would have pissed in there.
I
Whether
know.
there's a pisser or not, I would have
I'm
pissed
telling
in
you,
there.
it's just a glass ball with some chairs like that with the bench all the way around it. That's all it is. There's no bathrooms in there. There's no like shiwis. There's no funnels. There's nothing other than that, and that's why we didn't do it.
Jose, this is my new idea. Let's start or build our own Ferris wheel with bathrooms adjacent to, like,
And
on
you
the
can make
other
all
side
the
of the strip.
pods. All the pods look like porta potties.
Sure, whatever. Nobody gives a shit about like
just
looking
drain
at stuff.
holes, dude. Just
Yeah, it's just drain holes with a bunch of rocks down below. Like,
And then
For
as
drainage.
you come around on the Ferris wheel, yours is dripping down on the other pod below it.
oh my God, you could pay extra to like put, hey, this guy you don't like, we put him behind you.
Oh.
So as you go up,
for sure.
I guess
dude,
it goes
for
both
sure,
ways.
somebody has peed in there.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what Perry
on
said.
each other.
Perry said, someone's peed in
yeah,
there.
for sure.
I'm certain that it has, but it wasn't going to be us. Like
I wouldn't have made it, dude. If we would have,
Oh,
I would
no.
have pissed my pants.
that dude, when we were walking back, I think we, yeah, exactly. We just parked from the party or whatever, and you were like, dude, we should do this Ferris wheel. Fuck. Okay, how much is it? I
don't
think it's
know.
like $60 or something, and it's all you can drink. I'm like, that sounds fucking cheap. Okay. After paying like $18 a beer or whatever
Yeah.
at that bar. I'm like, well, okay, well, let's go to the bathroom first, and then
And then
I
that's when the
literally,
whole
that's when
pissing discussion started. It's
yeah,
like, dude,
then
there are
it-
pissers in there or what?
Exactly. Like, dude, should we go up there if there's no fucking bathrooms? Well, let's go use the bathroom first. And then I think that's when your lights started blinking
Yeah, I
in
was
your
like-
eyes. Were like,
Yeah.
blink, 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 blink.
My right eye was going slower than my left.
You had
And I didn't have
Katy Perry glitch.
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't have like a spreadsheet or something to tell me like what those codes meant. So it was like, oh yeah, I could tell when you started snoring that it was over. The party's over.
So we made it out alive. We had a bunch of really good interviews that I will tell you that I have not listened to yet. So whether or not there's any audio captured, I don't know. If there isn't, we'll just reenact them all because I think we remember them. It was a really fun week. It was a really good time. Casey was in the bathroom the whole time. I think he's still in the bathroom. Well, I don't want to ask what your takeaway was. I know what I think I know for sure what my favorite product was.
Oh, 100%.
And
Yeah,
I
I think
don't
we're all
yeah,
in
and I
agreement.
don't want to talk about it on this episode because I want to give it the time it needs to really dig in, and we're going to get that company on the show soon. But SEMA was awesome. They did SEMA did make an announcement on Thursday night that they're expanding the SEMA show to SEMA Week, which is going to consist of multiple experiential events around the city of Vegas, not just the SEMA show. They're going to do a SEMA Fest, which is an open to the public festival like Friday, Saturday, Sunday after the SEMA show. So if you wanted to experience SEMA but can't get into the show, there's an opportunity there. So I think that over the coming years that what we've known SEMA to be is going to expand and grow. And it could be a lot of fun, a lot of opportunities. We did talk about next year. We're going to we need to hire a social media intern, and by hire I mean just convince someone.
You'll get to go.
Yeah, convince someone to come because it's when we're talking to people on the microphone and doing the interview, trying to capture video at the same time, then trying to post that before we get to the next interview and all the other things that we're doing. I just want someone whose only job is to video us, talking to people, doing interviews, and then posting it immediately.
But I also want the video of me to look good.
No.
So,
We don't.
yes.
We can't afford that.
We're not hiring magicians.
You need to be CGI experience or wizard.
You can
wizard or warlock. I don't know which one has more power or has that
I was
capability.
about to say, who'd win in a fight, a warlock or a wizard?
There's also mages.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't know.
This episode just got really lame. We could. You could
Just now?
Just now. You could wear.
It's World of Warcraft.
You could wear one of those Marvel CGI bodysuits with all the triangles and squares on it, and then we could green screen you. But you have to wear it the whole time at SEMA, and then we can create a slimmer version of you and put that in there.
But
Can
why
you
is
just
his
put
head
me-
the same size?
Looks like an apple on a toothpick. Well, we'll figure that out. But yeah, so we're the intent will be that someone will get to go to SEMA if they can do all the video posting and stuff for us.
Also, I think we have the logistics down as far as where we stay and what time frames we're going to be looking at.
Yeah. And I think we did a much better job over the last couple years of how we scheduled interviews, where they were, what time frame, versus running back and forth on somebody else's schedule. And I think we're getting to the point that the Ectopack, the new version 2 of the Ectopack worked really well, was much lighter and easier to work with.
As long as it recorded stuff.
We think it recorded stuff. Look, lines were moving, lights were flashing. I'm still afraid to check.
Lines were going up and down.
Yeah.
I think our strategy with the monorail is like a great thing because you're anywhere up on that strip and it takes you right to the convention hall. But this year we were closer to the hall, which you would think, oh, that's like you just simplified your experience or whatever. Not really. We were at the far end of the run last year.
Yeah,
so when we got on,
we're at the end of the strip. So
yeah, when we got on, it was empty because we were the first ones on. But this year was like the complete opposite. We tried to. I mean, I think I still have a boot print on my ass from like the security guy just fucking kicking me in. Like, get the fuck in there!
That guy's there last year.
Yeah,
and he was a fucking. He runs a tight ship on
Yeah.
that platform.
Yep.
I was grabbing onto things and people that to hold
I know,
on.
and I wanted to say thank you for that. That was a wonderful
Was that good?
experience.
Was that good for
There's
you?
a-
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of different size handles,
yeah.
handrails in those monorail.
Confirmed. 2 hands.
So the point being, SEMA was a lot of fun. I still feel like I'm recovering from the last week. And we're going to go through the episode, the interviews that we did and clip them together probably in the next couple episodes so that we can talk about them. I feel like we're going to be able to get some of those people back on the show for a more full-fledged interview. Or they spent 5 minutes with us at SEMA and went, hell no, I'm never going back there again.
You can blame me for that.
We don't know yet.
100%.
Again, that's another clip for Matt. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Anything that I said at SEMA that was inappropriate, I apologize for that. I don't really. I don't know why they bring me around with them, but whatever.
Well, Jose, it is good to have you back in the studio.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Glad to be back.
Matt,
Not so much.
thank you for being here. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's
It's a
good.
start.
It's good
It's
to
a
have
start.
it's good to have the three of us back in the studio. Now we got to get Casey's power back on so we can get him on the show next week. But over the course of the next few days, we'll get this episode released and clip together a bunch of those interviews, and then come up with a schedule to get those released and talk about them some more. If you guys have any feedback, you can email us, thetrailchasers@gmail.com. You can leave us a voicemail, 951-415-DIRT, or hit us up on any of the social media messaging applications.
You know, it was crazy. Like, just really quick, one of the guys at work was like, "Oh, did you see like the, because he had his things that he was interested in or whatever, and he's like, did you see that Hoonigan like Burnout Alley or whatever?" And I'm like, I mean, I'm assuming that was like that section of the parking lot where it was just smoking constantly for
all
3
over.
fucking days, just like
Someone told me.
people were into that. Like they had grandstands for that.
Someone told me that there was a souped-up Dodge Charger that lost a wheel in that, and it went and hit a custom K5 Blazer and totaled it.
Cool.
But I didn't.
Then it's worth it. You know what? I take that back. Like that's probably one of the coolest things to happen.
Me and Matt saw a Dodge Challenger. It was an orange one, but it's like there's nothing done to it.
Yeah.
And Matt's like, why would that
Why?
be here?
I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's a Hellcat.
There was nothing. There was
Challenger.
nothing like no modification done to it.
It's like honestly, you could have put my truck like with the stickers I have, and like, oh yeah, I get it. That thing looks like it's off road. Looks like a little mini trophy truck or whatever. But this was like a stock Challenger. Whatever. Hey, you know what else was cool was the Tesla tunnel thing was
Yeah.
pretty neat.
That was pretty cool. So I'm looking at the video. It just hit the hood of a custom K5 Blazer. Ooh, in the top. Yeah, it says it's a 20-year-old wheel that a 20-year-old tire that exploded, shot over the crowd and hit a custom K5 Blazer. That's bad.
Whose insurance pays for that?
The guy spinning it. The guy, and the insurance company's not going to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be like, "Oh, you did what? That seems like a bad idea." Read here; it's not covered. But we'll talk about it more as we get through those interviews. Anything else, guys? Before we cut out, I'm starting to hit my wall.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, everybody in the chat room, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys hanging out as always. You guys are awesome. We will talk to you guys next week.
Later.